Jackie, welcome to the podcast. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm good. Thank you for asking. So you are first, you're a multimedia artist.
I am.
But you're also the founder of Canvas Can Do Miracles. Tell me, what was the path to start that organization?
It was a very difficult path because I was addicted to crack cocaine for 12 years. Mm-hmm. And that's what led to my vision after recovery, my vision for the Canvas Can Do Miracles, to help people that are struggling with substance abuse.
Yeah. And tell me, when you were going through that, I mean, the struggle to recover, I'm sure it was a back and forth, sometimes, cyclical, not always linear.
That's correct.
Did you have a support system that was walking with you, or how did you get through that?
No, I did not have a support system, and that's the reason why I formed Canvas Can Do Miracles, to give people a support system during that process, because it is so very crucial to your recovery that you have individuals backing you.
Yeah, and so you get to be that for people now.
That's right.
Amazing. That's so amazing. What I really love, I remember, I guess it was like 2 years ago or something, I read your story on Inside of Knoxville, and I immediately was like, I have to meet this woman. I literally emailed you that day. Yeah. I was like, can I come and just volunteer somehow, whatever you're doing, I want to support. What I love about your organization is that it really is open to everyone.
It is.
It's whether you're a kid, whether you're an adult, whether you are addicted or experiencing recovery or whatever it is, you welcome all. Why do you think you have that mentality? What spawned that in you?
Because I feel that I'm a Christian, and I believe the Creator that created everything has those same attributes in everyone. And so, but we don't use those sometimes. And so I feel that the art and the creative side in everyone can bring wholeness and peace and solitude, a lot of things to your life. And so that's why I offer it to everyone. I want everyone to be creative, because it can be so healing for us. Mm-hmm.
And everybody, you're right, everybody has that inside of them.
They do.
So it's beautiful to get to draw that out.
A lot of times we don't use it because we compare ourselves with people that have this special gift as an artist. But everyone has the creative spirit in themselves. Yeah.
When you are creating for yourself, what are some of the inspirations that you draw from? What inspires you to create?
Nature.
Yeah.
A lot of times nature is my draw. And so I use a lot of natural products, and that is my inspiration.
Yeah. I mean, I'm imagining you just like taking a walk somewhere and just being like, ooh, that's how you do it? Okay.
Exactly, yeah. So when I first started my recovery, I was walking and found a piece, and I named it Joe, but it looks like a person's body. The head is missing, the arms and hands looks like it's disfigured and cut off, the hands cut off, feet cut off. Yeah. But it looks like a person's body. And so as soon as I picked this piece up, my spirit spoke to me and said that it doesn't matter what scars I have from my past, I can use what's left and go forward and praise God. And so that's what I try to do in my everyday walk.
Yeah, that's amazing. Wow. Okay, when I met you, you were in a space right off of Magnolia Avenue, and it was like an artist studio / gallery. I know you've lost that space, but tell me the pivot that you've had to make since. Like, where are you now? How are you practicing your art?
Well, as you know, that was an event center, and we operated there for about 2.5 years. But right now, we're just operating as a satellite with satellite locations. So we still have our youth opportunity program during the summer and the spring, where we hire young people ages 12 to 29 to go to neighborhood centers and teach art. And so we still have those satellite locations, but we are desperately looking for a facility for a main location.
Okay. So keep our eyes out.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
ma'am. So you're at satellite locations. How did those partnerships come about to where you've been able to join with someone else who has a space or has people?
Right.
And you get to bring your...
So we started in 2008
Okay.
At the Literacy Imperative, and we had already partnered with the Boys and Girls Club and
Awesome.
different
Okay.
other organizations. So now we're just reaching back out to those organizations and seeing if they need art programs, and
Okay.
they do.
Yeah.
And so we align ourselves with those partnerships so that the young people can peer-to-peer teach art in the neighborhood centers, and so it's working out very well.
Yeah. And how are you going about equipping these young people to teach? Because it's one thing to love art, but then to actually pass it on to someone else.
Well, I'm not a licensed teacher or anything like that, but I share my experience and my skills and my knowledge with the students. They go through a training period, which
Okay.
they're in now.
Okay.
And so we talk about the foundations of art, because that's what they're teaching in the neighborhood centers.
Okay.
So to give people a foundation on learning how to draw and learn how to paint. And so we start with the basics, and then we let you flourish. So we train them in all aspects, whether they want it to be a hobby or if they're looking to have a career in art.
Okay.
So we want to walk with them whatever path they want.
Yeah. And one thing you've shared with me before, when we've talked about your story, is that you really want to see more Black art in Knoxville.
Oh, yes.
Like there's a gap there.
Yes,
And so
there
tell me about
is a
that.
gap. African American artists here in Knoxville, I find that there's few and far between as far as exposure.
Yeah.
And so I would like more exposure in the galleries. I would like more Black-owned galleries. And so that's my goal, is to increase those numbers here in Knoxville.
Working on it. Working on it. And I've also seen Canvas Can Do Miracles just like out in the street. So sometimes we get into galleries, and that is valuable and important, but also making art accessible to folks that might not walk into a gallery, and
That's
bringing
right.
art to them.
That's right.
How have you been able to do that recently?
Well, before we got our location and after, we also went to the homeless camps, and we took art supplies and food to them and encouraged them to still do art as therapy, because when you're homeless, you're going through a lot of stressful time.
Yeah.
Even though just a small sketch pad can really make a difference in your mental health.
Yeah.
And so that's what we did. And we'd like to do that again. We struggle with funding because we have so many ideas that we'd like to do, but of course everything costs.
Yeah. Okay. One of my questions was, what has been the biggest challenge you've experienced since becoming a nonprofit? But funding.
And that is
huge-
funding.
that's a
It is
huge one.
huge, yes. And volunteers.
Yeah.
Everybody says, this is a great idea, but then just to have the volunteers to come and back it, sometimes they're just not there. So I would like more volunteers. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you're getting this out into the world, so
Yeah.
let them know. Tell me about your experience going through the 100 Knoxville program, specifically as a nonprofit, because I think a lot of folks that I've interviewed are more on the profit business side.
Right.
So how did you feel it benefited you as a nonprofit leader?
Well, the information that I got was valuable to me, because as a nonprofit, you're kind of by yourself in regards to a lot of different things. And so the information that I acquired through 100 Knoxville was valuable and keeping me aligned with everything that I need to do, and help me with resources and setting up policies and procedures. As nonprofits, sometimes we're so passionate on the work side
Right.
that the administrative side suffers, and that's exactly what was happening with Canvas Can Do Miracles. So now we're trying to focus more on getting our administrative and our operational side up to
Organized.
up to,
and-
up to-
Okay. Amazing. What was your experience with your mentor?
He is a fabulous mentor, and he worked with us during a stressful time that he was going through. So that spoke to me that he still had time to reach out and touch
Wow.
other organizations, even going through
Yeah.
what he was going through. And so I really appreciated that.
Yeah.
And we still touch base, and so
That's awesome.
It was a relationship that I think will follow me all through my life.
Good. I was just specifically wondering, I feel like in the nonprofit space or when you're, offering care or services, it can be really hard to get poured into because you're always pouring out.
Yes.
And so it's good to hear that you were supported and built up in that way.
Rico Hopewell was my mentor.
He's incredible.
And he is incredible. And he has such a passion for his work. And it just really gave me a spark because I was kind of going through a depression because of all the changes that my organization have gone through. So it really spoke to me to keep going and be inspired.
Oh, I'm glad. What are some of your self-care practices to help you, stay invigorated and keep coming back full and ready to give?
Right now, I'm pouring into my garden.
Okay. Oh, that's exciting.
So that's
what are you growing?
I'm growing. This year, I have blackberries, grapes. I have spinach. I have tomatoes. Then flowers.
Okay.
Hydrangeas are big right now.
Yeah.
And so I've got 4 plants that I've planted in the ground, and I'm babying them right now.
Oh my gosh.
And elephant ears. So my garden looks wonderful.
That's amazing. It's almost like growing art. I think of gardens as growing art. That's beautiful. What is one way that Knoxville can support you right now? You alluded to it earlier, but tell us if there's anything you could ask of Knoxville. What would you ask?
Money.
Money. Say it louder.
Money. Cash. We pay our youth ages 12 to 17. We pay them $14 an hour.
Okay.
We pay the 18 to 29-year-olds. We pay them $24 an hour as art teachers. So the more money we have, the more
you can pay
kids we can hire. We have 6 locations. We have potentially 9 locations wanting us.
Okay.
But we need the money to be able to pay the young people to go to those locations.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Well, please, if you're listening, make sure that you support Canvas Can Do Miracles and Jackie Holloway's work in Knoxville as she brings more art to the kids and the folks that live here. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.